twist, and thank God I get to do this Night of Champions review all the way from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. If you enjoy doing content like this, please subscribe to the channel, because every week we do a Raw recap and review, and we do a PLA review every time they come out. Also on the channel we do WWE 2K26 content as well. If you enjoyed that, we just finished the CM Punk showcase you can find on the channel, and now we're doing the My Rise Part 1 just came out last week. Part 2 will be coming out soon. Now let's get into the first match of Night of Champions. Start off Night of Champions with the King of the Ring tournament final. We get Uso. It's just me, Uso. Day one ish. We get Jay Uso versus the ruler. Oba. And the match starts off with Jay. He's not scared of Oba. He instantly tries to go for a punch on the Oba, but Oba catches him, throws that man into the corner. Jay fights off of it, hits the yeet combo to uppies to the snipe right there, but Oba does not budge at all. He just hits that man with a big shoulder tackle. That leads to Jay now on the corner. Oba tries to go for a signature running uppercut, but that gets dodged by Jay. He walks outside the ring, but Oba gets him to the apron and hits an axe handle onto him. And Oba picks him up and he tries to lawn dart him into the ring post, but Jay reverses out of it and grabs him and throws him instead into it. That leads to Jay going back into the ring and then going for a suicide dive. Suicide dive. Now on the right side of the ring, he tries to go for another suicide dive, but that gets a big elbow by Oba, stopping him right there. But then gets back into the ring with him, picks him up for a big shoulder breaker. And then he guys him into the corner, and he's hitting with multiple corner spears back and forth while he's in the corner. Then he Irish whips him back and forth each corner real hard twice. That leads him trying to go for the choke slam this time, but that gets reversed by Jay. Hits him with the signature super kick. But Oba no-sells that, picks him up, try to go for the fall from grace. But that leads to Jay getting out of that fall from grace, and then back to 2 super kicks right there. That leads him knocking Oba down. He goes to the top rope. Uso splash! 1, kick out at 1. And he grabbed his neck for the choke slam. Picks him up. Boom! 1, 2. Kick out from Jay though. The yeet man not going like that. He tries to pick him up again, but then Jay hits a super kick to the midsection, 2 super kicks to the face, big corner spear to him, then a big running spear in the middle of the ring. He goes to the top rope. Uso splash, but it's a double down. He hits so hard, the gas knocked out of him. He tired. He been getting beat up back and forth, but he finds a way to get back up. Goes to the top rope again. Uso splash. It might be over. 1, 2. Kick out from the ruler. But Jay, he's running out of chances. He's running out of hope. He grabs that man for the sleeper hold. He has him in a sleeper hold, but Oba finds a way to get him out of it. He picks him up, throws him for the throw suplex, but Jay lands on his feet. Super kick right then and there. But Oba, he knows selling. Big uppercuts back and forth to Jay in the corner. Pick him up. Throw suplex. Picks him up for the fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. Oba is your king of the ring. I give that match an overall 4-star match. It was not what I expected. Jay looked really strong in this match, and Oba still looks invincible. I thought shenanigans were going to get involved. I thought maybe Brock Lesnar or anything, but I was surprised. You know, they did it straightforward, did it straight through. Oba is the king of the ring. He didn't choose who he was going to fight tonight. We're going to probably find that out closer to SummerSlam than now. But overall, good match. I really enjoyed it. In the match, Oba says it feels good to go from the ruler to the king. Then we get to our second match of the night, and it's for the Queen of the Ring final tournament match. We get Trouble. That's me. We get Liv Morgan, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Io Sky. And this match is important because, you know, if Liv wins, she could fight Rhea Ripley, and if Io Sky wins, she's most likely going to fight Liv Morgan again. So let's see what happens in this match. And before the match started, Danhausen popped out to talk, get hype with the crowd, and that led to Liv Morgan interrupting him and saying, "Hey, you owe us money. You took money away from us, and if you don't give us the money, we're going to have a problem." And Danhausen was like, "Oh, you threatening me, basically?" And then Liv smacked the taste out of his mouth and said, "You know what? You are cursed." So, guess you kind of know how this match is going to go, but let's see. The match starts off with a big tie between both of the women, leads to an Irish whip, ending off with an Io Sky shoulder tackle, knocking her down. And then Liv gets back up and then gets hit with a hip toss by Io Sky. That leads to then running back and forth, but Liv hits a Hurricanrana onto her into putting Io in the corner, hitting her with a big back splash, and then hitting her with a big knee in the corner. And then she now hitting her with, now she's in a seated position. Now she's hitting her with her boot, striking her down, and then choking her with her foot. That leads to Io then doing the comeback when she's dodging the strikes while running into the big leg sweep, and then hitting with the big basement drop kick, and then hitting over and trying to go for the bullet train, but that gets reversed by Morgan. They flip around, and then Liv Morgan tries to run over to her, and Io Sky flips her over, and then tries to go for the sunset flip bomb. But as she flips over to the outside, Liv reverses out of it and then stumps her back and forth, kicking her back and forth, not allowing her to do it. That leaves her Liv on the outside now, grabbing Io Sky, trying to throw her into the barricade, but that gets reversed by Io Sky, and she throws her into the barricade. Then she daps up the fans on the outside, uses them to stand up on the barricade to a big crossbody on the Liv. As she's getting hyped with the fans, Liv grabs her and throws her into the ring post. Liv getting Io Sky back into the ring, hit her with a big knee on the corner, and then turn it into a big sleeper while she's holding on to the corner. And she drops down. She drops her down off of her and then jumps off the middle rope to a big face buster. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Io. Nelly's Liv is now taking advantage. Now she picks her up for the Three Amigas, aka the Three Amigos. Shout out Eddie Guerrero. She lands them both. Hits him off with the little shimmy at the end. Then with a big enziguri at the end of that. Goes for the pin. But a kick out from Io Sky. And then she goes into the rest hold. Putting a little chokehold on her. That leads him to fighting back at him to a boo. Yeah. Boo. Yeah. Boo. Yeah. Boo. Yeah. Into Io Sky. Sky gets thrown into the corner. She jumps on the middle rope. Tries to go for the missile drop kick right. But it gets caught by Liv Morgan. And she flips it over. Tries to go for the Boston Crab. But that gets flipped over into the big stump by Io Sky. And that leads to a double down because that was a lot of exchanges, reverses back and forth. Energy went down. They get back up. Io Sky hits the spinning elbow into a big flapjack slam, and then she goes into the hit the missile drop kick. She does the flip over to the La Orifarm, and then right into the bullet train. 1, 2, but Liv Morgan kicks out. They get back and forth. Liv reverses a move by Io Sky, turns into a big backstabber. Shout out Carlito. But then Io Sky ends up punching Liv Morgan to the outside. She goes to the outside apron, does this big springboard moonsault onto her, the acai moonsault, as they say. That leads Io to getting her back into the ring, and they hit her with a nasty backbreaker. It looked gross. 1, 2, kick out from Liv Morgan, though. That leads to Io Sky trying to get it over with, trying to go for the moonsault, but she gets pushed off the top rope by Liv and lands onto the steel steps, and she tweaks her knee, and the knee is important for the rest of the match. Her knee is cooked. So Liv going to the outside, grabbing her leg, slamming it down back and forth, picking her up, throwing her back into the ring, and then landing a half crab on the affected leg. That leads to Io getting up out of it, leading to a boo, yeah, boo, yeah. Io gets the advantage, tries to run to the rope to get a big move on her, but her knee gives out right as she's doing it. That leads to Liv then hitting a crazy springboard code breaker on her. Put it in 2K. 1, 2, kick out from Io though. That leads to Io being on the rope. You know what that means? She tries to run for Oblivion, but that gets reversed by her. It leads to multiple strikes back and forth by Io Sky. And that leads to her going to Liv Morgan set up through the ropes. She tries to go to the other side for a middle rope leg drop, but that gets dodged by Liv Morgan. She gets out the way and Io hits her leg. She's in the crazy pain. That leads to Liv Morgan hitting the big knee from the apron. She gets into the ring, tries to go to the top rope, but Io Sky gets up there, hits her with an uppercut. She jumps up there. They'll go for the crazy flip over Spanish fly. Crazy move. Io gets the energy, goes to the top rope, over the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Good duffer, Io Sky. So another match that I didn't expect it to go the way it went. It was really great match. Danhausen's curse. It really worked. I was gonna give this match. I was thinking of giving this match a 5-star match because I really enjoyed it. I really loved the back and forth, but the ending sequence, it really ruined it for me. I don't like the fact that Io Sky hurt her knee 3 really bad times in a row, and then she instantly just got the energy to do a Spanish fly. And if she would have struggled to go to the top rope to do the over the moonsault, I think I would have gave it the 5. But overall, it was a great match. It's really a 5-star match. I'm just being picky. I ain't gonna lie. I'm being picky. But at the end, though, Io Sky says that Liv Morgan is the opponent she went to SummerSlam. She said she's gonna see her at SummerSlam. And we get to our last match of this part one. Yes, I'm gonna do this PLE in part one, part two. It's more matches than it usually are, and they are way longer. So we're getting to the big finale between Seth freaking Rollins versus Braun Breaker, and these guys put on a classic. I'm not gonna lie to you. Seth does the entrance first. He gets into the ring. He gets a whole bunch of chairs, kendos, tables. He put them in the ring. He sit down on a chair, wait for Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker come out. He said, "Oh, you gonna put that in? Let me get some chairs in too. Let me get some tables in too." He said, "Okay." And then they both sit down on the chair. They both stare at each other. The ref ring the bell. That leads to a big strike exchange back and forth between them. But Braun Breaker gets the advantage by grabbing him down. He has him in the leg and tries to lift him up for the alley into the cage. But that gets caught by Seth Rollins, and he does a big crossbody off the cage onto Braun Breaker. Then it leads to Seth having an advantage, learning to big strikes back and forth from the Braun. But Braun stops out of that, picks him up. German suplex. German suplex. And then German suplex. Suplex City, bitch. Grabs him up again, slams to the cage 2 times, and then picks him up for the military press, throw into the cage. And that leads to him but then Braun Breaker is still on the advantage, grabs a kendo stick, whop that man on the back, and then pick him up for a big back breaker onto the steel chair. You know that man got a bad back too. 1, 2, kick out from Seth though. That leads then Braun Breaker grabbing a trash can, trying to hit Seth with it, but Seth intercepts the trash can attack by hitting with some big chops back and forth. But Braun, not budged by it, picks him up and then lawn darts him into the steel cage. The Seth spinning elbow into the Braun jumping knee, into another Seth spinning elbow, into Braun trying to go for a hurricanrana, but that gets caught by Seth. He turns into a big powerbomb, but that leads to a double down between them. They're both tired. They both getting up though. They talking mess on each other, headbutting each other back and forth with a boo, yeah. But Seth gets the advantage by hitting a big clothesline. Braun still standing. Big clothesline. Braun still standing with big stupid clothesline. Knock Braun down to the ring. And then he said, "You know what? You hit me with the kendo stick. Let me get some kendo sticks now." Big whop, whopping that man back and forth with the kendo stick. Then Seth said, "You know what? You can throw me in the cage. Now it's my turn." He grabbed that man, throw him into the cage about 3 times, and then he get him on the cage and start dribbling that man's head back and forth to the steel cage, and then goes to the other side of the cage, runs toward a big elbow into the cage, and he was still not bleeding. I said, "Where's the blood, man?" But Braun is a crazy person. He tries to go for the spear on Seth, but that gets intercepted by Seth with a big kick into a big clothesline to him. And then Seth is angry. He's going insane. He grabbing chairs, just throwing them back and forth at him. He threw about like 5 chairs at that man. Then that leads to Seth trying to go to the top rope to do a move, but Braun gets up there and stops that man off the top rope. He gouged the eye to make Braun jump down. You know what that means. He jumped back up with a Breakensteiner. Boom. Flip over right onto some chairs on the ground. Nasty. And that leads to Braun going to the top rope. And as he's going to the top rope, Seth is trying to climb up, and he ends up sitting on a chair. That leads Braun to usually does an apron clothesline to the announce table, but he does inside the ring. He does a springboard clothesline on a seated Seth Rollins in the chair. That was a pretty cool move, I ain't gonna lie. And then that leads to then Seth getting up, but he grabs a chair. He tries to go for the chair shot, but he gets intercepted with a super kick. And then he tries to hit him again with the chair shot, but he misses again. Back to super kicks, and then he even has a chair. He basically has a chair up on him, and then super kick right with the chair on him. That leads to him trying to go for the stump, but he gets a big spear by Braun Breaker. 1, 2, kick out from Seth though. That leads Braun Breaker then grabbing the table. He put the table up and he put Seth on top of the table, and then he goes to the top rope. And then he go, "You know what? Nah, let's go to the top of the steel cage." He finna jump out the steel cage, but Seth get back up. He jump up there, and they're fighting back and forth on top of the cage, on the cage. But Seth gets the advantage. He drops down a little bit on the top rope. Big superplex from the top of the cage. Insane, nasty bump. Seth trying to go for the stump again, but that gets reversed by Braun Breaker into a big clothesline into him. Into another big spear. 1, 2, kick out from Seth though. He's not going out like that. Braun is going insane. He don't get it. He tried to leave out the ring through the cage door. Seth grabs his leg. He has him in the choke position saying, "Nah, fight me in here. You gotta fight me in here." But that leads to Braun then grabbing the steel cage door, throwing it back right into Seth's face. He knocks down. That leads him to get into the ring, and he tries to go for a spear on Seth, but he misses. Ends up hitting the table in the corner that was set up. We see the Seth picking him up, pedigree right into the stump. That gotta be it. 1, 2, kick out from Braun. He got resiliency on him. Seth is going. Seth says, you know what? Let's go for it. He tries to go for the stump again, but this time Braun goes, no, stop. And Seth is like taking it back from it, but Braun is like, He said he locked in, but Seth, when he locked in, he went to the top rope, super stomp on that man head. 1, 2, 3, burn it down, and Seth surely did. That is a 5-star match. These men killed each other in the middle of the ring. Steel cage match is already insane enough, but do you add all the weapons involved with all the crazy spots? That match, magnifique. Seth finally gets the vision off his back. Braun loses a little stock, but he was super strong in that match. Super strong in the match. He looked like unbeatable for most of the match, so it was really good. But that is going to be the end of part 1. If you want to know what happens with the WWE Championship match and the US title match, you're gonna have to watch part 2, man. It's gonna be around the end of this video right here, man. You know, remember y'all, Jesus loves you, man. And watch part 2.